Oh, hey everyone. I just want to give an update here about what's going on with Mobile VR Station for the Quest. So, if you're using the new Quest V51 update, then it's going to have problems. Because at the moment, the Quest 51 update updates to Android 12. Now, Android 12 changes a lot of things with how security works. So, for example, a lot of the folders just won't show zip files anymore. Now, it will show zip files if the app itself made it, because now apparently it ties files to the app that made the file. So, like if you download a zip file from, let's say, a FTP server, then the app owns it, it's good. Now, if you download a zip file from the browser, then it's bad because the web browser owns the file. Well, let's go into some more stuff. So it changes how the Android/data folder works because I don't have access to the Android/data folder. And then let's go into more stuff. So, like if I have made a custom folder and I drag some files into it, like I did this months ago before the update, like I can't even see any of the files. They shouldn't be tied to an app, but I guess they're probably somehow tied to the like, USB. I can see the files on the drive, so that's good. But then the app just can't see the files. So I'm going to need to play around with that because it can find photos in the pictures folder. It can find MP4 files in the music folder. So the app can find things, but if you have a zip file from another app, it's not going to do anything. Now, some people have been saying that they're having trouble with Windows Explorer to copy files or view their files on their device, and I've tried multiple ways, and then it's not having that issue. So I'm not sure why some people are having issues because from my setup, I can view from Windows Explorer, attaching it to a PC, the Android/data folder. Then I can view the Bone Lab files, and then I can then copy files into there, and then the mods do show up in the game. So we still got that going for us. Now, I don't know why that works exactly, because I guess apparently if you copy it into an app specific folder, then apparently it's the app's data, which is kind of weird. The logic here is just weird. Now, I've been trying to see if I can get the app to make the necessary request to actually get the Android 12 override so it can view more files. Now, there seems to be an issue there, though, because this is a VR app. The simple things like reading and writing files, those are from the previous version, so those work. But then, like, I'm trying to get a new Android 12 permission, and when I make the request for it, the app disappears for a second, and then it comes back. So I'm guessing that because they probably just didn't implement the screen right, from calling from a VR app's perspective. Now I'm going to see if I can get a 2D view in the app also. So maybe from the 2D view, I can make it, act like a standard Android app and then try to make the same request over there. So try to bundle a 2D app with the VR app and then have the VR app basically launch the 2D version of itself and see if I can get around some of the wonkiness. But I'm not 100% sure if Meta has implemented the necessary functions in VR for everything to work right. Because I need this new permission. Android permission manage external storage. And then there's supposed to be one more thing I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make a call to get permission for a folder, but that's supposed to use a 2D dialogue. And I don't think Meta implemented this because really like it's a VR ecosystem. Why would a VR app need to do any of these things? So unless I can see some other app getting around these things, like we need to figure out how they're doing this, because like any real media player app is going to have the same issue, in well, from the media side, you can work it. It just that from what I'm seeing, you need to have your content in a DLNA or FTP portion and then have the app install it to the drive and then it works. But then, like I said before, copying it over via USB is an issue. Now, for modding, I do see that there are examples online of how people have there's various ways to kind of make Android 12 grant access to the Android/data path. But then on my other point, like I'm unsure if you can do that in the VR sense of this, since like they have their own custom shell on top of the Android ecosystem. Like I might need to try to do the adding a 2D app to my VR app and having it launch in a 2D just plain mode, and then maybe in that mode, which I guess other file managers can use this way, or if you installed a file manager via sideload, then then they can use these features. So I'm going to have to try that. Otherwise, like modding in general, it's just going to have a lot of issues on Quest V51. So my recommendation at the moment is do not upgrade to Quest V51 if you like to mod, and just don't do it. It's just at the moment it's a bad idea. So if you're in the public test channel, take yourself out of the public test channel. And until then, I will keep playing over here and seeing if I can make this app do whatever hoops it has to jump through so that Android 12 will be a little more friendly and let us have access to our own data. Because it's supposed to have ways for file managers and other things to do their job, since going through Android scope storage for a file manager would be a nightmare. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep on playing and see what I can do. Just stay away from Android V51. It's not worth it.